Hi, this is an exam revision video for GEC 4000 or Stage 4, Unit 9. In this unit we did grammar, we did defining relative clauses, we did quantifiers, and we did vocabulary like how gadgets work and describing everyday objects. So defining relative clauses, here's an example. Gaymat is something which Arabic people like to eat. This which gives us important information about the subject, about the thing. So defining relative clauses tell us something important about using a pronoun like which. It doesn't have to be which. So the other ones we have things, we have people, places, time, and possession. So we use different ones. Here's the example. Legema is something which Arabic people like to eat. It's a thing. A chef is a person who cooks food. When it's a person or a people, we say who. A kitchen is a place where people cook food. Places where. A kitchen is a place which people cook food in. If you use in at the end, you can use which. And for all three, you can also say that for all of them. The evening is the time when I like to cook legema. I don't know, but when we're talking about a time, we say when. And possession, I like eating in restaurants whose food is good quality. When we're talking about the possession, the food belongs to the restaurant, then we use whose. Vocabulary, how gadgets work. So what gadgets do we have? These are a little old-fashioned, but let's take them. A cooker, a digital camera, a dishwasher, DVD player, games console, laptop, MP3 player, if you remember them. Now everyone just has phone, a tablet computer, a touchscreen phone, or a vacuum cleaner. So some of them we have in our homes, some of them in the living room, some of them we have in our bedrooms or we take to school. Describing a gadget. Now, these are all problems with the gadgets, okay? Some words we have for all gadgets, it doesn't work. The cooker doesn't work. Or some are just for computers, phones, tablets. When we say it's crashed, a computer crash, it means the same as doesn't work, but it's only for computer. So this language appeared in the book. Break down, similar to doesn't work. Restart, turn it on and off. Switch something off, switch something on. Unplug, so take the electricity from the wall. Computers have words like freeze when the screen won't move, to hold down a button, to pause, to press a button, to reinstall software, to recharge the battery, common problem. Scroll down a menu, so this is when you go up and down the computer. Touch an icon, so when it's got a touch screen, you might need to touch something. So try to learn how to describe how gadgets work. Quantifiers. This is a big area of English which is difficult. Here's an example. There are some difficult questions in the exam. What does this sum mean? Well, it gives us the quantity, the number of something. It doesn't say how many, it doesn't say there are 3, there are 4 difficult questions, but it's telling us more or less how many of something there is. So sum is a good example of a quantifier. Others are here. Any, a lot, much, many. Look at too much, too many, it's different. Plenty, enough, several, few, couple, a bit. So there are some difficult questions in the exam. There are some, but not all of them are. And when we say questions, we use any. We don't say some. Are there any difficult questions? There aren't any difficult questions. So when it's negative or a question, we use any. A lot of, much, many, too much, too many. These are different. A lot of difficult questions in the exam. This is more than some. And for the questions, we say, are there many difficult questions? There aren't many difficult questions. So it's more than some, but it's not all again. Too much and too many, this is actually a bad thing. We use too much and too many to say there are more than you need, but in a bad way. There are too many people speaking in the class. I can't hear the teacher. Too many is a bad thing. plenty of. We use plenty of to say we have more, same like too many, but it's a good thing. There's plenty of time to prepare for the exam. It's a good thing that we have the time. There's enough time to prepare for the exam. This is less than plenty, but it's a good amount. It's still okay. We're okay with enough time. Then we have several. There are several days to prepare for the exam. Several is a good thing. A few days, it's a little less. It's not a good thing usually. There are only a few days. There are a couple of days. This usually means 2 or 3. And there's a bit of time to prepare for the exam is a small number as well. So try to learn these. A lot of them used more or less the same way. One thing you need to remember is countable and uncountable. If you remember all this, which things can you count, which things can you not count? You can count bottles of water, but you can't count the water, okay? So countable is many, too many, several, a few, a couple. Uncountable is much, too much, and a bit of, or both is some, any, plenty of, enough, and a lot of. So try to remember these. Obviously, this is quite a difficult thing to get used to, but you need to study this. And describing everyday objects. Here's an example. It's, and you might say a description. It's round, it's square, it's rectangular. This one is none of those things. It's made of metal, plastic, fabric, rubber. This one, it's metal. It's made of metal. What's the material? It's got, what does it have? A battery. This was in the book, but this one doesn't have a battery. It's used for, verb plus ing, opening a car door. Again, this doesn't have any of those things, but what is it used for? So the example I give at the bottom to describe this is, it's tall, it's round, it's made of metal. It's got a handle. It's got a hole here for pouring. It's used for making coffee. So this is how we describe everyday objects. And to finish, here's examples of all these things we just reviewed in one paragraph. So, computers are something which helps students to study online. Blackboard is a place where students can have a class with the teacher and do exams. I have a tablet computer. It's black. It's made of plastic. It's got a camera and microphone, but it doesn't work. I need to reinstall software. There are a few people at school who can help me to fix the computer. I have plenty of time after class to call them. So this has examples of which, where, who, which are the defining relative clauses. We have the gadgets like tablet, computer. We have the problems like it doesn't work, reinstall software. We have quantifiers, a few, plenty of. And then we have the description. It's black, it's made of, it's got. So this is all the language we studied in Unit 9 that you can use together. Okay, thank you.